So this is little Marvy. She's a little baby girl. She was born at 2.6 kilos and 2 weeks early, and I'm over the moon to be a mum. She is just precious. So today I just wanted to do a video about my birth story. It's already been a month since she was born, and I feel like it's an important story to tell, as I really wanted a natural birth, a doula, delivering in the water, lots of different things. And my birth was a little more complicated and unexpected, but all of the things that I researched beforehand really set me up for what I was about to go through. So I want to share a few of those different points, and I also want to share my experience giving birth in Dubai at Fakeeh University Hospital, because I just loved the hospital, and my doctor, Dr. Aga, did the most incredible job, and I can't recommend them enough. My name is Emma, welcome to the channel, or welcome back. I am a prenatal yoga teacher, and I'm currently studying for postnatal as well. Oh, she's very squeaky, so you'll hear her squeaking about. And I started this channel to talk all about pregnancy and now motherhood and parenting and all of that. So if you are into that stuff, and I'm going to be doing more yoga classes focusing on postnatal as well, so subscribe if that sounds interesting to you. So in this video, I'm going to talk about my birth story and walk you through it, and covering a few interesting details. I had premature rupture of membranes, or leaking amniotic fluid, early. I did use the water birthing tub, but didn't deliver in it. I had a doula. I had the sweep done. I had my waters broken. I had an epidural in the end. I also had augmentation with Pitocin, which I was really hoping not to do. And I had to go into surgery to have my, what's it called? Removed. Placenta removed. So lots of different things happened, which weren't in my birth plan, but I still feel like it was a really positive birth experience, because I did everything I could. And I don't look back with any regrets, like, oh, I wish I'd have known about that because I would have done this differently. I really feel like all the research I did held me in really good stead, and I had 100% trust in my partner, my doula, and my doctor, which just gave me incredible peace of mind. So let's start my story. So first, let's look at early labor. So something which is super confusing in pregnancy is Braxton Hicks, and not knowing what is Braxton Hicks and what is early labor. And to be honest, it wasn't super clear for me. I thought I was having Braxton Hicks, which felt to me like period pain. Most women say it feels like a tightening. I didn't get that sensation throughout my pregnancy. It felt like period pain on and off, irregular. And so she was born on a Tuesday at 4 p.m. On Saturday night, I started having contractions in the night, which were uncomfortable, not by any means unbearable, and irregular, but it happened pretty much through the night. So I didn't sleep much on the Saturday night. Sunday morning, I felt off. So like the Saturday, I taught a yoga class, I was feeling fine, I went for a coffee meetup with other pregnant ladies in Dubai. Sunday morning, I was like struggling to walk. I was going with my husband and dogs for a dog walk. I had to keep stopping and sitting down, which was not like me in my pregnancy. And I started having, again, contractions very irregularly. We went to the desert Sunday night, because it's the good season in Dubai, so I'm really glad we did that. But as we were coming back, my contractions, the Braxton Hicks, were becoming more regular, like every 20 minutes, so not very close together, but more regular. And that night, they become closer and closer together. I started timing them. I lost my mucus plug at 12 a.m. and I had suspected that maybe my amniotic fluid was leaking. And even the Saturday night, I thought maybe my amniotic fluid was leaking, but it's really hard to tell. So on the Monday morning, my contractions stopped again, so I was so confused. I was sure I was going into labor, and then I was like, okay, maybe it was just a false alarm, maybe it was Braxton Hicks, who knows? But I let my doctor know, look, let's check if it is amniotic fluid. So we went in on the Monday morning, and he did a test, which is very easy to do. It's like a pH litmus test, and yes, my amniotic fluid was leaking. So what does that mean? What most doctors will tell you, what is recommended, is that you should deliver 24 hours after any leakage of amniotic fluid. So for me, potentially I had started leaking the Saturday, so I was already due to basically have the baby out. And this is because you're at a risk of infection to you and the baby. So I was looking at the doctor like, you know, I don't want Pitocin, I don't want an induction, I don't want a C-section if possible. So he told me, okay, we're going to admit you right away to the ward, and I will give you until tomorrow morning for it to happen naturally. Otherwise, we will have to get involved with different interventions because we don't want you to get infected or the baby. So, which of course I agreed to. So this is now, we're on Monday, lunchtime. I also allowed him to do the cervical sweep at that time. So they insert a finger and sweep around. It was uncomfortable, but I don't even really remember it being painful now, but maybe it was at the time. But in the grand scheme of things, it's fine. And originally when he was checking me to do the test, he was like, do you want me to do the sweep? And I was like, no. And then when we found out that my amniotic fluid was leaking, I was like, you can go back in there and do the sweep. So that was fine. I went into the ward, so 1 p.m. on the Monday, and the first 12 hours was exactly what I envisioned. And I have to say, the hypnobirthing that I did, I really believe that worked, because at no point, especially in the first 12 hours, was I scared or nervous. I was excited, I was pumped, I was feeling just like, this is the natural thing to do. I'm just in my flow. I just was loving it, to be honest. And my contractions were getting closer and closer together. At one point they were 2 or 3 minutes apart. My doula came, she set up the room with beautiful lights and fake candles. We had my hypnobirthing music on, and I was in all different positions, active birthing. And I went into the shower at one point, and warm water is pain relief. Like, I swear, the shower and the tub, which I went in as well, I swear it cut the pain by like 3 times for me. But I got in the tub a little too early. I mean, I need to do more research on this now, but I have heard that since my experience, that if you get in the tub before you're far along, it can slow your labor down. And I definitely felt that. So I went from having contractions 2-3 minutes apart to them being like 10 minutes apart, and having like almost no pain, like very mild contractions. But then they started picking up again, and by like midnight, so I'd been there like pretty much 12 hours at this point, my contractions were very intense. They weren't super close together, but they were getting closer. But I had to use gas and air at this point, and contractions were painful but manageable with breathing. I was keeping my I transitioned from just breathing out to having to moan but keeping the tone low. And And I was still managing to really focus on my breath, breathing in and counting my breath. So I'd be breathing in for 3, breathing out for 6, or breathing in for 3, moaning or groaning for 6, and using the gas and air. But at this point, it was very intense, and I was thinking, I would expect to be in transition at this point. I was admitted at 2 centimeters, so I thought, okay, maybe I'm 7-8 centimeters, and then I can find the willpower to keep going at this intensity. But I had the intuition that I wasn't, because I also felt like she hadn't moved down at all. She was still really high up in my belly. So we decided to get out of the tub, which immediately increased the pain by like 3 times for me, and decided to check with a doctor how far I was. She checked me and I was 4 centimeters dilated. So it was disheartening for me. And I still look back now, this is my only like, could I have continued at that intensity? Like to try and get to transition, etc. Without any pain relief. But I really felt like I was on my edge at this point. So I was saying, give me a C-section. I want this baby out. Something's wrong. She's not coming down. And they kind of talked sense into me and were like, let's not jump all the way to a C-section, but why don't you have you can have some kind of pain relief. So I said, okay, I just want the epidural. We considered Petadine, which is a narcotic, I think. Narcotic? I think it's something else. It's something else, I'll put it here, what I mean. But Petadine lasts for about 3 hours or so, and it's 50-50 for people. Some people like don't have a good experience on Petadine, some people feel nothing on Petadine, and some people get like a good break where they kind of can get some sleep and then come back and try again. So I was like, I don't want like a 50-50 chance that this is gonna work. Just give me the epidural. I was in a lot of pain at this point. So I got the epidural and pain instantly gone. It was like such a relief. And this was now 3 a.m. on the, I guess, Tuesday morning. And they said, get some sleep. I could not sleep. I was just like whirring. And at this point, bear in mind, I hardly slept the Saturday, barely slept on the Sunday night as well. And although I had eaten at some points, I'd also thrown up during labor and I had 0 appetite. So I was running on like no energy. The next morning, doctor came, so we're now on Tuesday morning, and checked to see if I dilated more overnight, but I hadn't. I was still 4 centimeters. So while she wanted to come early, she was quite stubborn on coming out. At this point, he broke my waters. Although I had leaking amniotic fluid, it was a very slow leak, apparently, because there was still a lot of waters left when he broke them, to see if that would progress things naturally. He came back an hour later, still exactly the same. So we started the Pitocin. And at this point, I started to feel the contractions again. So I just let people know, I'm feeling the contractions. They're not very painful, but just letting you know. And the contractions started to get more and more intense until they were actually quite painful. And what's he called? The pain relief guy, anesthetologist, came. He did give me top-ups and things, but it didn't do anything. Later I found out that there was an issue with the epidural, but I'll get onto that. So I still couldn't feel my legs, but I was feeling the contractions, but I imagined that they were significantly dampened than if I had no epidural. So it gets more and more painful. I start to feel pain in my lower back, which signals to me, okay, something different is happening. and I thought maybe she was dropping, but I didn't want to get my hopes up too high. At the same time, because Pitocin is, like, I've done a whole video on induction, watch that video, because it goes into a lot more detail, but it causes a lot more stress on both mother and baby. I had the epidural already, even though it wasn't 100% effective, so I was okay, but for her, she was getting more stressed and her heart rate was showing this. And they said, okay, it's not a cause for immediate concern, but we're just keeping on top of it. And it's kind of a delicate balance between, okay, we need the baby to come out because risk of infection, etc. But we don't want to cause her too much stress. So Dr. Aga at Fakeeh was being really careful about, okay, increasing sort of the dosage of Pitocin, but within a limit, and really keeping an eye on her heart rate. So it was a little stressful, but he was doing a really good job of sort of keeping us informed, being very relaxed. And so we continued like this, and by 3 p.m. on the Tuesday, he said, okay, I'm going to check how dilated you are again. He didn't want to check very often because that would increase the risk of infection, so I hadn't been checked since early that morning. And he checked, and he said, you're 10 centimeters, you're ready to push. And at that point, both me and my husband burst into tears sobbing, because it was just, that's still the most emotional part of the whole delivery for me. The whole birth, like even more than like holding her, and I feel bad saying that, but we were just at such an edge. Like I was struggling at that point and we just wanted it to be over. It was a long process. It was already over 24 hours in the hospital, and for me, effectively labor started on the Saturday night maybe, so 40 something hours. And so I got to start pushing, and this is my favorite part of the birth. Admittedly, I did have an epidural, so I'm aware that it wasn't like a natural push would be, but for me, this was the best, because suddenly it was like, okay, let's go, let's do this. And this is where the hospital also came into play. They helped me, and they suggested this as well, which I loved, but they knew that I was natural birth inclined because I had my doula, and actually the head of the ward was also trained as a doula, and the other midwife who was there was also trained as a doula, so they were just an awesome team. So they said, okay, we're gonna help you up onto your knees, and so you can put your belly on the back of the bed and hold the back of the bed. That will be a better position to push in. Pushing on your back is the worst position that you can possibly do, because the coccyx gets in the way and the baby struggles to get through that gap. So they helped me into that position. They literally had to lift my legs because I couldn't move my legs. And then I started pushing. I didn't have the natural urge to push, but I kind of just like pretended that I did. Like I was like, okay, let's just go with this and pretend I know what I'm doing. And it felt so empowering to actually do something, and knowing we were so close to getting her out. And again, the hypnobirthing, I think, really helped, because I was not scared. I didn't have fears around tearing or the pushing stage. And also Ina May's Guide to Childbirth, which I've also done a video on. Please check that out. It's awesome. Like, not the video, but the book. But I think the video is helpful. Like, I was just visualizing, I'm going to expand, my body knows what to do, and pushing. And apparently it was an hour of pushing, but to me it felt like 15, 20 minutes. I asked at one point, look, I really want to get into a squat. Can you help me into a squat? So they helped me again, lift my feet and I got into a squat, and I could basically more or less hold the squat, but they were holding onto my legs just in case. And I pushed out my baby in a squat. And I don't know why, but I'm just really happy I got to do that, because that felt like the position I was meant to birth my baby in. And what's really cool is my husband got to catch the baby. So he was the first one to hold Marvy and deliver her out into the world. And there was a really funny moment that I have to share, that while I was pushing, I mean, effectively, I'm like completely naked. My butt is just pointing out to the whole room, which now has like 5 people in it. And I'm not thinking about that. You don't care when you're when you're giving birth about these things. But at that point, my husband goes, "Wow, you look amazing from this angle," or like something like that. And I was just like, everyone cracked up laughing, which is a good thing. Gets more oxytocin, gets the process going. But it was just like a hilarious moment. So he caught her, and we got that amazing golden hour time together. She latched on for breastfeeding. Yeah, just an amazing feeling and so much relief, and yeah, just like incredible. And she was so tiny, and with her disformed head and everything, and she was just so gorgeous. And then the last part of the story is that my placenta wouldn't come out. They'd already given Pitocin for the placenta to come out, but it didn't. They said, okay, look, enjoy your golden hour. We'll come back in an hour's time and try again. They quite aggressively massaged my stomach. I had to use the gas and air while they did that. And still no placenta. So I had to go to the operating theatre to have it removed in like surgery. They don't cut it out, but you need to be under pain relief for them to get it out manually. And so I went for this surgery an hour later, and that's when we found out that the epidural was no longer working, because they were going to give me pain relief through the epidural, but nothing happened, and I could feel everything. So they put me under general in the end and got the placenta out. So that is the full birth story. And honestly, like, I still feel super positive about it. I kind of feel like the universe, oh baby, I'm here. Sometimes she just has a nightmare or something. I'm here. Good girl. Squeak, squeak. Yeah. I feel super positive about the experience. And I was saying, I feel the universe was like, oh, you want to educate people around birth? Well, here's like a full spectrum of birth experiences. Like, I got to use like water therapy and have a doula. I had an epidural. I went into an operating theatre for my placenta. I had Pitocin in the end. Like, so many different things happened. I had the sweep. I had my waters broken. And if I hadn't have known about those things beforehand and just had the mindset of like, oh, I'll just do whatever my doctor says, that experience, the whole experience, would have been overwhelming and confusing. I don't know what I'm saying yes to. I don't know what the implications are, but I knew because I'd done the research. And if you haven't already, please do check out my birth series, which I was in the middle of doing when I had Marvy, and I will continue it now. But I already did 3 videos about birth, and the next one will be about C-sections. Because it really helped me feel comfortable throughout the whole process. And Fakeeh is such a great hospital. They are doula friendly, so all the doulas recommend using Fakeeh. But honestly, like, I was just super happy with the experience there. They're very like natural birth friendly. And Dr. Aga is just very calm and composed. Never made me feel rushed or like do it my way. This is what we have to do now. Like he always kept us informed. I honestly can't recommend that hospital enough. And every single birthing room has a tub. So if you are interested in using a water birthing tub, then you're guaranteed it. Like it's never happened that someone goes there and wants to do a water birth and can't. So highly recommend Fakeeh and Dr. Aga and my doula Mackenzie, who was just awesome. Like having a doula there was amazing because she's been to many births before. She also kept super calm and kept me going when I maybe wanted to give up at some points. Like, you can do this, you're doing great. And the room setup she did was really relaxing, and yeah, it was just awesome having someone there who knows what they're doing. And originally my husband was like, I don't want a doula, that's my job, but he was also super happy to have her there, and he did great as well. So yeah, super happy with the experience, super happy to have a gorgeous little baby now. And I'll be doing plenty more videos now on what it's like having a newborn. That's all to come. And also I have a few more videos I want to do around birth. A C-section video is coming, but I also want to do a video on like packing a hospital bag and some things that I wish I had packed. And also about breastfeeding. What a journey breastfeeding has been. Like, great experience, but also some things I wish I'd known in advance. So yeah, lots of videos to come, and just so excited to be a mom, and so happy and excited to share the experience with you and bring you some yoga videos in the new year. So yeah, but thank you for watching, and I hope this video is helpful. If you are pregnant in Dubai, do get in touch with me. Put a little comment on YouTube and I'll send you my WhatsApp number or something, because I'm arranging like meetups within Dubai for pregnant ladies and new mums, and we have like a WhatsApp chat, which has been really nice, and we meet up every couple of weeks and bring our babies. So yeah, if you're in Dubai, then please do get in touch, or if you want any additional information about Fakeeh or Dr. Aga or Mackenzie as a doula, then please do get in touch with me. Okay, I better go. We have our 1 month checkup happening in an hour, so I need to start getting ready to go. But have a lovely day, and I'm glad I finally filmed a video, and this will be the new video setup. And I realize I've got like banana bread dough on this carrier, if you can see that. Yum. All right, have a lovely day and see you soon.